Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Chronos Gate. So, Chronos Gate just underwent a major update. Alright, it's Chronos Gate's second update, but this one is a very massive update. Alright, so today I'm gonna go through all the updates that we have in this version 1.2. Alright, I'm not gonna go through like the events and stuff like that, but I'm gonna go through everything about the game mechanic changes and the game system. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so first up, we have obviously, and it's evidently have changed. So if you guys didn't notice this, then something's wrong with you. Alright, so basically we have the main page that has been entirely revamped. You can see you have a very nice background now and stuff like that. Right, we're no longer in this small little enclosure. Alright, we're like, the map has changed. Right, I love this map. Right, especially I love the design. Right, so other than that, number one changes will be the stamina adjustment. Right, you can see the content above me. Stamina adjustment. So what I mean by that is story mode and floors now requires 0 stamina to play. Yup, you heard that right. No stamina needed to tackle the stage. Right, so you can go ahead to take a look at the water gate, water portal. Right, you go to all these small little, I would say story mode. I'll call it story mode, right? Because it's part of the story. You can see that all the battles are now 0 stamina. Right, you go to the main gate, which is the Chronos gate. You can see godly trials, the second seal, the third seal, the fourth seal, the fifth seal, all 0 stamina. Right, it's not a visual bug, it is intentional. It is 0 stamina. Alright, so no stamina needed for story mode, as well as certain floors, which is this my bad, like power training. Right, power training, those that you have, those stages that you kind of have the weekly thing. Right, this power training comes in every Sunday and now is here permanently. Right, like all these floors have zero staminas needed. Right, so I'm gonna move on to the next point, explaining more over there. Alright, so point number 2 will be card enhancement system. Right, what I mean by that is stages that actually boost your player level, that boost pretty much anything related to the game itself. Right, like what I mentioned in the first part, power training is here. All the stages are here permanently now. Right, like power training, we have like the piggy hunt. All this is supposed to be appearing at Sunday and Saturday respectively, but now they are here permanently, so you can attempt it anytime you want. Right, which is a very good thing. And taking a look at the water, fire, wind and thunder portal, right, they both have their respective end materials as well. Right, so no longer needing that 1 hour time slot to kind of power level your cards. Right, they are here, but all 0 stamina. Why? You do not need stamina, but you need something called the key of improvement. Well, what's a key of improvement? It's a drop that kind of, it's an item that will drop at any stages that require stamina. Right, an example would be the bi-weekly battle, etc. Alright, they will drop key of improvement, and then using that key of improvement you can enter these stages. Right, so it's more convenient now. You can kind of access whatever attribute material you want, but in exchange you need to have the key of improvement this time. Yeah, so that's all for this character enhancement system. So I'm gonna move on to the next update. Okay, so next up will be the revamp of active skill. Right, so I will say this is a very good improvement in Chronos Gate, because some cards are totally unusable if the CP is not trained. Right, so what we have here is Hanzo, my all-time favorite fire converter. Right, so what they did to the active skill is, for those active skill that have super long CD that doesn't have any feeder cards, it's literally impossible to use it, because by the time the card is ready, it's already the end of the battle, right? So what they did is they split the active skill into 3 tiers. Like most cards have active skill having 3 tiers now: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, right? Each having the same active skill but at a different power level. Alright, so basically the higher the active or the higher the tier, the better the active skill is. Alright, so we can take a look here at Hattori Hanzo. So you can see previously it was at CP8 and it's only 1 active. Right, CP8, it converts 6 non-refined runes into fire. Alright, so now we take a look at its active skill. At tier 1 is at CP4, it gets ready in 4 turns. Right, what it do is converting 3 non-refined runes into fire, and then increasing the hero's attack by 140 for 1 round. Right, so if you didn't use it on the 4th turn, you continue to let the active skill build up. You go to the 2nd tier, in which it will convert 6 non-refined runes into fire, which is the original active skill, but additionally increasing the hero's attack by 280 for 1 round. Right, so take note of that. And then we have like the maximum, which is tier 3, if you manage to hold the active skill for 12 turns, CP12. Right, so we randomly turn 6 refined runes to fire as well, but then now hero attack increased by 560 for 1 round. Right, so I would say it's a very nice revamp, so you can kind of like build up the active skill if you are not using it, and then you can use it early in the game as well, because there's no point, right? Nowadays, like Chronos Gate have like a 6 battle stages, and then we have like cards that's having like CP16, CP12, previously totally unusable, right? So with the revamp of the active skill, making them having 3 tiers, CP has been reduced, but the effect has been lowered as well. So in a way, it's good because at least we get to use it. Alright, so other than that, you'll realize that, so you'll be asking, so what's the point of training the skill level now? Since now all the CP is a standard CP, right? Like CP4, CP8, CP12 is a standard CP. The higher the active skill, it doesn't lower the CP anymore. Alright, so what does higher skill level means now? Alright, so the higher the skill level, the better the active skill, right? Instead of the lower the CP. Right, so remember, now as you increase the skill level, your active skill gets more powerful. Right, let me show you guys this in a second. Right, so take a look at Tamamo here. Right, since I have 2 Tamamo, one at max, one at level 15, but we're not looking at the level here, we're looking at the skill level. Right, looking at my skill level here is 1 out of 10 for my under-leveled Tamamo. So you can see Brace of Creatures, increased team attack, HP recovery for 2 rounds. Based on number of creatures in the team, that's standard. You can see the CP is 4, 8, 12. No change. Right, but just notice the multiplier. To the max, 1.12, 1.3, 1.6. Alright, so we go to my max level one, in which is having a skill level of 2. So it's 1 level higher, 1 skill level higher. Right, so we can take a look at the CP, CP4, CP8, CP12. No difference. Right, what happens? The only difference is the higher the skill level, as I mentioned, the higher the skill level, the better the active skill is. So you can take a look. Previously it's 1.12 for tier 1. You can see here CP4 to the max 1.18, 1.36, 1.66. So the multiplier is increasing. So of course, the higher the skill level, the better the multiplier. So this is what I mean by the higher the skill level, the better the active skill. Alright, hopefully I make this very clear to you guys, because this is a very big improvement in terms of the active skill adjustment. Alright, so with this, that'll be all for active skill. So I'm going to move on to the next point. Alright, so next up will be the revamp of the battle time. So this is a very major change in the game as well, in terms of the play style. So here, what I'm going to show you is, before I enter the battle, there's something that has changed in the pre-battle page. Right, like you see this page, what we have here is this extra battle recorder at the bottom right. So if you guys do not have some sort of professional recording device or program, you can use this to record your game and upload it on YouTube. Alright, so this is the recording function that has been added into the game. And anyway, there's something for you guys to note. That's not the main point of this point number 4. But then let's get into battle. I'll show you guys. Alright, so previously in the battle, what do we have is, let's go through the basics once again. Right, so base movement time previously was 7 seconds. So once you start swiping, without not swiping refined runes, like you start swiping normal runes, the countdown starts from 7 seconds down. Right, they have increased the base time from 7 seconds to 10 seconds. Right, that's the base timing. So what else do we have? Per match. Right, so notice here, every time you can see once I start moving, it starts from 10 seconds, and per match now is 1 second instead of 0.5 seconds. Right, so note that once you match something, it's actually, I killed that. Wow. Okay. But anyway, base time have been improved to 7 to 10 seconds. Per match now is 1 second instead of 0.5 seconds. And swiping, matching, which is the 1 second, together with swiping refined bronze, silver, gold, to the max will increase 15 seconds. Right, previously it was 8 seconds, now it's 15 seconds. And as for diamond runes, right, diamond runes, I think I've explained this before. Diamond runes, time extension is on its own instead of together with the bronze, silver, gold. Right, so once you swipe finish, you have extended your time to the max for the bronze, silver, gold, which is now 15 seconds. You can extend your time further by swiping diamond runes. Right, so previously diamond rune extends 5 seconds to the max 15. They have changed it to each diamond rune extending 4 seconds now, so now it's 1 second lesser, and to the max you can extend 8 seconds, so maximum 2 diamond runes use. Right, so in a way they are trying to push the maximum time limit to the more basic runes like bronze, silver, gold, because we form that more often instead of diamond runes. Right, so in a way they are trying to extend the basic rune movement time, and then diamond is just the extra bonus time that we get if you actually form it. Right, so that's like the major changes in the revamp for battle time, so take note of that. So if you guys realize that why do I suddenly have so much time, it seems like I can make more combo and chains now, that's because they did a revamp on the battle time as well. Right, so do take note of that. So with this, I'm gonna move on to the next point. Alright, so here we go. Next point will be heart rune adjustment. Right, so they did players did voice out that heart runes, the appearance of heart rune is too little, right, previously, and if there's no sort of leader boosting recovery, recovering HP is difficult. Right, so they did change how the heart rune works now. So previously you have to match 4 colors, which is the water, fire, wind and thunder, for it to drop 1 heart rune. Right, so now they change it. Now it will drop randomly whenever it wants. Alright, so it's a random drop now. And then previously we have to match the heart rune together with 1 match. Right, you have to match it with like some attribute in order to dissolve it and recover HP. But now you cannot match it, but you have to swipe it off manually to recover HP. Right, so I'm trying to spawn some. I'll try to spawn some heart runes to show you guys. Like you can see here, usually you can match it with the water runes, right? But now it won't go away. Please don't kill it. Okay, but anyway, you get the point. Right, so heart runes now cannot be matched together with other attributes. It will stay there, and if you want to recover HP, you just simply swipe the heart rune away, and then you get some sort of HP recovery. Alright, so here, alright, and one more thing is that you kind of get experience like here, but because I'm max level, I'm not getting experience. But cards do get EXP now for every stage they clear. Alright, so that's a very good thing. Also, for heart runes, for heart runes, if you want to upgrade, like you heard of luminous healing runestones, right? Like, let me go to Freya in a bit. Like, look at Freya. See? Healing runestones 2, which is like a so-called refined healing stone, or they call it luminous heart rune. Alright, so what you can do to get the luminous heart runes is to stack heart runes together. Alright, and then they will be upgraded into a stronger heart rune, and then by swiping that, you will get more HP recovery. Right, so that's how that's the changes for heart runes. And yeah, remember you have to swipe it off manually to heal yourself now, and any sort of match with other attributes will not dissolve the heart runes. Right, so take note of that. Very, very important. Right, so with this, gonna move on to the next point. Do I really need to explain this? Right, so anyway, they have added an additional round end option during your spin. Right, so this is added because of like emergency urgent end battles last time. That only lasts for 1 hour, and then we have to wait for that long 7-second base time to run out in order to finish one round. Right, so now they have added a round end button. So whenever you feel like you're done killing the boss already, like it's enough damage, you can press the round end button, and then whatever timing left is just gonna stop, and then the attack animation will start. Right, so I haven't actually spot where is it. Alright, it's right at the top right corner there. Right, so you can see here I'm left with like 12 seconds, and if I want to end the round, I'll just click round end, and then you'll just simply attack. You'll simply attack the boss. Right, so it's a very nice function because seriously, farming end materials, you want it to be fast and efficient, and there we go. That's fast and efficient right there. Round end button. Right, so you do not have to wait for like the timer to run out in order to advance to the next battle. Right, so as I mentioned, non-max level cards actually have a chance to get EXP. Like you can see there, my Yanxi just level up, and then yeah, it's very nice to have EXP for the cards every time we clear the stage. Right, so with this, there's nothing much about the round end function anymore, so let's move on to the next point. Alright, and the next point I want to talk about is the revamp of fever mode. Right, so they did change something about fever mode now, and I would say that it will help a lot in terms of damage. Right, so what happened to fever mode? So what they have mentioned here is chains no longer break during fever, or rather the transition into fever. Right, so notice that every time we match 3 diamonds and then you get into the fever, you know, that kind of thing, and then you wait for all the runes to drop, within that time the chain tend to break, right? Because there's a certain time limit that you have to start matching runes to continue the chain. Right, so for that, the chain no longer breaks during that time, and then as well as certain debuffs will be removed during fever. Right, they just mentioned certain debuffs, but they didn't specify what. Right, so I can only imagine example we have like a team attack minus 50% for 3 to 5 rounds, that kind of debuff. And if we enter fever mode, at the end of fever mode, it's going to clear that debuff, so we do not have that anymore. Right, something like that. Right, so other than that, chain connect time increased from 2 seconds to 4 seconds. So during fever, it's easier to do chains because we have 4 seconds to kind of do another combo, right? So it builds up the chain. Chains doesn't break that easily, and chain gives a lot of damage, right? Which is why I say it's a very big revamp, because it affects the damage a lot, right? So other than that, now fever mode is available in all floors. That's what they say. So I think what they mean is, you know, certain stage they don't have fever. Once you max 3 diamond, it immediately converts everything to bronze, and then you just get the buff straight away, right? That's what they mean. That's like the no fever stage. But now what they mention is fever mode is now available in all floors, right? So you can hear that shouting fever, that irritating sound in every floor now. Alright, so that's the changes in fever mode. I think that will really want me to get into fever mode as more often now, because this change will really buff up your damage a lot. Alright, so really looking forward to try that. And then with this, we're going to move on to the last and final and the most important part of the update. Alright, so last but not least would be the addition of amplification to certain cards. Right, so what is amplification? Right, it's a new function in Chronos Gate whereby you can use it to further enhance your card when it's max level. Alright, something like that. If you have played Pokemon, you can treat it as some sort of super training kind of thing. Alright, so let's take a look at the amplification phase or the page. Alright, so one thing you need to note is amplification is only applicable to the card that is at its final form. Right, take note of that. So let's see, like Ophelia here, she still can evolve, meaning she's not at her final stage, and hence there is no amplification function for her as of now. Right, so one example would be Rahab, which is here. Rahab have he's already at his final form. So once you click Rahab, notice there's an amplify button, so you can go ahead to amplify him further. Right, he's at max skill, max level, and we can further upgrade him in this page here. Alright, so what we have here will be the amplification page, and what you can do is to further boost its HP, attack, and recovery. Right, so some of you guys will be asking, so what are like the materials needed to further enhance or further amplify its power? Right, so very simple. Notice when you enter the battle or enter the game, they gave you something like Griffin the Stardust Spirit. Right, so this is it. This is the one that gives you the amplification material. Right, so you can kind of use like all this as well, but seriously, use the Stardust. Right, so for me, just have to take note. You can see here max amplification 0 out of 20. So for one character, the maximum you can amplify it is 20. Alright, so per stats, meaning HP, attack, recovery, one of each stats, to the max you can up it 10 times. So plus 10 for each stats. Right, so each stats maximum plus 10, each card maximum plus 20. So you can do some mix and match here. I don't think it's reversible as of now. Right, so you can go something like HP plus 10, attack plus 5, recovery plus 5. So add up 20 out of 20. Or you can go plus 10 HP, plus 10 attack, and then plus nothing for recovery. So 20 out of 20. Something like that is a mix and match. Is up to you what you want to enhance for this card. Right, so I'm not going to do any amplification now because I have not decided on what card I want to amplify. And this Stardust Spirit is very, very rare. And how do you obtain it? Alright, so last but not least, how you go to obtain this Griffin, the Stardust Spirit, is given to you based on how many summon you have done so far in your Chronos Gate career. Alright, so here what they have mentioned is 0 to 50 summons, they give you 10 griffins, 51 to 120, 101 to 240, 201 to 360, 301 to 480, and 401 and above they give you 100. Alright, so let's be realistic here. We won't be drawing that many. I'm sure many of you won't be drawing that many as well, and hence Stardust Spirit is very, very rare. Alright, so consider your amplification decisions very carefully, because I don't think it's reversible, and yeah, pick your cards very wisely. And that's it, folks, for this upcoming version 1.2, all the changes in game mechanics and gameplay. Right, so if you think this is beneficial of you, make sure to like this video and share it around with your fellow Chronos Gate players, because I'm sure that this will clarify most of their doubts. And then yeah, I'm not gonna touch on events, because that's gonna be a whole new different thing. Events are just events, and the gameplay mechanics are more important, because that is what gonna make you improve on this game. Right, so with this, gonna end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.